At the end of the day, it might just be because I'm not exposed to it, particularly because
Hmm.
my Spotify AI seems to think I really want to listen to Shakira and nothing else.
I mean, those hits don't lie, brother.
It's true they
They
don't
don't
lie.
lie.
I have
So,
I have gone to the step of going to her artist page and blocking her, and Spotify is still like, "Oh, hey, you want to know who's got live concerts coming up? Shakira." Like, I don't care.
so back in the day when when we were younger lads and Spotify was first around
Hmm.
and was an app, I used to block every artist I did not want to listen to so they would never pop up in my mixes. Instead of like just saying, "Oh, I like this artist." Like, no, no, no. I'm going out of my way to block motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And it still didn't work back then, and it annoys me to hear that it doesn't even work now.
No.
Like,
like
what's the point?
like the you're familiar with the DJ feature that they have, right?
Yeah.
That thing is incredibly hit or miss. So it either just plays the same songs that are already existing on a playlist that I'll have,
Hmm.
or it'll get stuck in its head that I want to listen to something over and over and over and over and over again, or it'll just think that because I was like, oh, hey, I put on a random playlist of like lo-fi beats, for instance, while I was working
Hmm.
the other day. It's like, oh, that's your favorite music now. So that's the only type of music I'm going to give you.
Yeah. That's not. It's not only in Spotify, brother.
Yeah.
I watched two, count them, two videos on forging knives, and like people doing like Damascus patterns, right? Because I was
Yeah.
just like in the mood, and that's all my feed is literally right now.
Yeah.
It's just different freaking dudes making knives and stuff. I'm like, well, I only watched two. Like, I didn't even click like.
The thing that really gets me is like you'll watch like a specific creator on YouTube. Say it's, somebody who's been around forever since like the beginning of YouTube, but
Hmm.
instead of like, showing you all of their content, it's just showing you the same thing from like the past like 3 weeks over and over
Yes.
and over and over again.
Like, if you didn't fully watch the video all the way through, like there's like 2 seconds left of the video that you didn't watch, it's just
Yeah.
gonna keep popping it back up. Like, Alana did a video on the Xbox releases and all that, the trailers and everything
Oh, the
for
showcase
yeah, the
for
showcase.
Summer
Thank you.
Games Fest weekend, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I watched like 70, 75%, somewhere around there.
Hmm.
Nothing like super short, but it's still popping up in my feed. Like, hey, please watch this.
Yeah.
Please finish. I'm like, no, I'm good. I watched what I wanted to watch. If I decide to finish it, I'll finish it.
Yeah.
Nothing against Alana. I love Alana. I just got bored of watching the Xbox showcase.
There is a infamous YouTube video in the internet's wrestling community that's on YouTube. I'm not sure if naming it will have the same effect. But anyone who has followed pro wrestling for any period of time and absorbs content on YouTube knows what video I'm referring to. I hope I don't curse us by mentioning the Simon Gotch buries Enzo Amore video on YouTube, because
Oh,
you it shows up it has shown up for a period of time in everyone's feed. It'll be in the
yeah.
sidebar of like what's up next. Like if you watch it once for 5 seconds, you will never be rid of it. It's like YouTube herpes.
Yep. It's weird how that works out because like I watched one video talking about like Shadversity kind of going nuts and getting mad about losing subscribers and stuff because he's like been hyper focusing on alt right crap and like AI art and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which understandable. People are gonna be like, dude, I came to watch a stupid asshole fucking play with swords, like not do this shit.
Yeah.
Understandable, totally understandable. but I keep getting like that video popping up all the time now, all the time, and I refuse to watch it. Like I don't want to give him views.
Like it's gotten to the point where on YouTube I will block specific creators because of like that specifically, where it's like I haven't watched their content, but they've started going viral for being, you know, alt-right nut jobs or just, you know, creating you know, clickbaity content that is meant to, like, you know, it's bait, yep. It's rage bait, and I just do not want to engage with it on any level.
Yeah, and you know what, I keep clicking block and don't recommend this channel and stuff for a lot of shorts that pop up on YouTube, because it's either like really awful like takes on women or some other sort of alt-right crap that is just basically crapping on anyone that's in a minority group.
I mean,
and yet it still fucking pops up no matter how many times I block and say don't recommend shit like this.
When I first, you know, got us the account for the night off on like TikTok, that was the first thing I did. Is I went through the like For You recommended feed and just blocked every sort of right-leaning content that would pop up that I know kind of like it leads down that path of like, you know, extremism, just so our feed wouldn't be filled with that stuff. Like it wouldn't recommend us to that same audience, you know?
Oh yeah. Like, so like a lot of the stuff that I watch on like shorts related, at least lately, has either been like car crash related or horrible bosses. And that's not because like I have a horrible boss. I'm not saying that. It's just,
I thought you meant the movie.
No. Like these people read like text messages between a boss and an employee.
Yeah.
And it's just horrendous. Just absolutely horrendous. That's what, like, I was watching a few of those the other day. Well, actually, no, I watched a couple today. And I kept getting, oh gosh, who's that guy who had horrible takes on women that died? Something Samuels.
I mean, you're not narrowing it down, I don't think.
I almost said Kevin Samuels, but I don't know if that's right or not. You can let me know, audience. But he had horrible takes on women, and right now he's just looking up at everybody in hell. So
yeah, you said horrible takes on women. My first thought was like Andrew Tate.
Oh yeah, and his stuff sometimes pops up, and I don't understand why. Like I've clicked so many times, do not recommend this stuff.
Like,
and it's like YouTube is geared towards just ramming just alt-right bullshit down your throat.
Like that Jordan Peterson piece of shit, dude.
Oh God.
Like his stuff.
Well, if you just
everywhere.
clean your room, then you will understand why trans people can't exist.
Yeah, what else does the ketamine in your system tell you, you fucking addict?
God, seriously. What a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And people love him because they heard that one fucking line, like,
oh, clean your room and you make your bed and everything will be fine.
Like, no.
Yeah.
No.
I mean,
and one thing that's also really weird is if you close your eyes and you put up a clip of Jordan Peterson and a clip of fucking Kermit the Frog, you can't tell the difference.
Yeah, difference is Kermit said trans rights.
Yeah.
And Kermit the Frog here.
Actually,
and Jordan Peterson here.
That brings me to something that I specifically wanted to talk to you today about. Because, I mean, we're going to get into, like, Clash in the Castle and all that later on, for sure. But I wanted to talk about something very specific. And it's it's hyper-personalized to me. But I wanted to ask you a question revolving around this. Specifically, I'm going to give you what I wanted to talk to you about, and then I'm going to follow up with my personal example, give you some time to come up with a response here. But
Okay.
Is there anything that you are, like, without a doubt, certain you're the only person that gets irritated or pissed off about? Like, almost irrationally. Like, you know you shouldn't be angry about it, and you're sure nobody else gets angry about it, but you can't help yourself but get pissed off about it. For me, It's when I'm in like the parking lot at like a grocery store or wherever, and I see people driving through the spaces, like not using the lanes at all. Like I don't mind like someone who just does like a little turn, but when they're just cutting across the whole parking lot, like I find myself getting irrationally angry for no reason at them for doing that.
I definitely have anger issues.
Yeah. You? No, come on.
No. I definitely, it's been a long road with that, especially like with my therapist and stuff. But one thing that really bothers me all the time, because I was originally gonna go with that, because that happened to me literally about an hour and a half ago when I went to the store real quick.
Yeah.
Because we needed more aluminum foil. The one thing that really gets me all the time, and I don't know why it makes me so mad, but nobody on TV and nobody in movies, I shouldn't say nobody, but near nobody, says goodbye when they hang up the goddamn phone.
How the fuck did I know you were going to say exactly that as soon as you said nobody on TV?
It bothers the fuck out of me. It bothers the living fuck out of me. And yes, of course, because you know me so goddamn well.
I do.
Of course you're gonna know. It bothers the living fuck out of me. I don't know why. I really don't. It's just a fucking movie, or it's just a TV show. You know, like it shouldn't bother me so much, but like it's to the point where I make sure to say fucking goodbye at every chance I get when I'm either walking away or getting off the phone, and I don't do that stupid like click. I'm like, oh yeah, have a good one. All right, and then do it all nice and like shalom. Like
in that same vein. Like very close to that is anytime they show anyone playing like a video game on movies or TV and they have a controller in their hands and they're just hitting random buttons that have nothing like it's just completely arbitrary and you're just like, could you at least act like you're doing something?
And now I feel like we're starting to get to a point where it's not even an excuse anymore, because we had actors and actresses who were probably never played video games growing up, or played a couple back in the day, for a long time. So you can almost make the excuse like, yeah, it's understandable why they're not actually doing anything.
Yeah.
You know they're not. But nowadays, in this day and age where video games are so like centered in culture and everything, and there's like the only real taboos nowadays with video games are like subjects that are being touched on, stuff that's like non sequitur type shit.
Yeah.
There's no excuse now when you see it.
I think I can pinpoint the exact use of it where it no longer became acceptable. Like that was your last opportunity to do that. And it's James Gandolfini in The Sopranos playing video games with his son AJ. Like I
remember that. Yeah.
I think that is the last point that you could go beyond saying, okay, no, we can no longer reasonably expect people to buy our bullshit.
Yeah, well, because Grandma's Boy, the movie.
Yep.
It's centered around fucking video games, right?
Yeah.
None of these people are playing a video game when you hear them touching the controllers. None of them.
The only person that did, I want to say, is when they were playing Dance Dance Revolution.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'll give you that, because you can't really...
No,
well, you still could do it wrong, but it would be so fucking jarring.
Yeah, it'd be real fucking hard to mess that up, because it's mapped out in front of you and on your feet, basically.
Yeah. But otherwise, like, you see the game that he makes, right? It's like that, like, almost like Diablo kind of game, or whatever.
It's like kind of like a Mortal Kombat, wasn't it?
No, I thought you had, like, full control. It wasn't... maybe it switched in and out. I don't fully remember. It's been a while since I've seen this movie.
Yeah.
But, you can hear when they're playing the game. It's not... They're not playing the game because they're doing so many button presses and so fucking little is happening. Because like you're almost acting like you have to press the buttons to move forward.
Yeah.
And to move left or right, and it's so annoying.
Yeah, it's like trying to play one of the earlier From Software games.
Yes,
Yep.
where you have tank controls and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I can adapt into just fine, and I don't sound like that.
Yeah. It's
Now,
very
granted, when we're
simple.
playing games where we're getting hectic, like content warning or something, yeah, sometimes I overpress buttons. I
Yeah,
admit.
that's out of panic though.
I was gonna say that's panic, though. Yeah,
You're not doing like a claw hold on the game like this with the control pad playing, Need for Speed.
exactly. God, there's so many little things that just annoy the crap out of me. I used to love small talk. Like, I would stop at like the gas station and stuff and get to the point where like the attendants know you and all that crap. Now, when attendants, especially ones I don't know, go for like the small talk and everything, I just get so annoyed. I don't say anything, nothing like that, because I'm not trying to be an asshole or anything. Because like they have a job, they're trying to be salesmen,
Yeah.
Like, nothing again. But not only that, it passes the time. I get it. I used to be in sales, so you don't want to just sit there quietly the whole time.
No, like
But-
100%.
But like, it's like when I used to work nights, right? I get off work at like around 1 a.m. and I'd be driving home and I'm fucking tired. And they want to sit there and talk for 10 minutes. And I'm like, no, I just want to go home, man. Like, I want to go to bed.
I stopped going to a gas station that is very close to where I live now, simply because of that. The attendant that would, like the dude working the register, he just would keep wanting to make conversation, and I'm just trying to, fucking get home. But like the moment that actually like broke the camel's back was he said to me, "Hey, you look familiar. Do I know you?" And I'm like, "No, you don't. I just have one of those faces." And then he followed it up with like, "Yeah, I guess I can't really say that if you were a woman, could I?" I'm like, "Okay, yep, I'm out of here. You're fucking creepy. I'm gone. Never gonna see
Yeah.
you again, dude."
Yeah. Like, in my instance, it's them being nice, and I'm just an asshole. Like, like, I'm just like, I don't want to talk. Especially when I'm tired.
Yeah.
But I've definitely gone to some gas stations where the attendant is literally like, what the fuck? Like, I went to one, and it usually happens at night. Because at night is where all the weird people are out and shit, which says a lot about me.
Yeah. You're always out at night.
Yeah, but I was coming home from work, a different gas station, because it was like, I don't even remember why I had to stop. It was probably gas, more than likely gas.
Yeah.
Wow, gas station.
Big surprise.
But I go inside and I grab a drink, and the guy starts talking. Now, mind you, this is when like maybe 3 weeks, maybe a little bit over a month after January 6th happened. And the dude's trying to like wave it off as like an FBI scheme, and like they were all leftists and all this, and I'm like, dude, fuck you. I watched that shit happen. Like, I watched that girl get shot. Like, these people, these fucking idiot, like alt-right fascist morons invaded the Capitol. Like,
Yeah.
that's what happened. Sorry.
These
And, like, I was
fascist
having none of it.
cosplayers.
Yeah. And like, I was having none of it, so I've yet to go to that gas station since.
I mean, I don't blame
Not because of him now. At this point, now it's just like, well, fuck it. I already have bad vibes, so I'm not going to try it again.
Yeah, like, I don't know what it is, but just like the second you get that feeling, sometimes it doesn't, take someone verbalizing it or giving you a visual, like say, okay, that guy's got like a Confederate flag shirt or something like that. Sometimes you just get that sense, like that causes the hairs on the back of your neck to kind of tingle and stand up, and you're just, like, no, I shouldn't be here. You gotta trust that instinct sometimes.
Yeah, that's another one that really irks me, is when someone decides to say to me that when they're repping that fucking traitor flag.
The second place flag, the loser's flag, your participation trophy.
Exactly. Like when they're like, oh, it's I like to carry it and have it around or all that because it's heritage. I was like, what's the heritage of?
Yeah.
Slavery, hate. It's a heritage of hate. Like you can't separate them. Like as much as you may try with all the whitewashing and shit that the Daughters of the Confederacy and shit did with all these stupid ass fucking statues and stuff that should have been ripped down like the moment they were fucking put up. They should have never been put up in the fucking first place.
Oh, you mean back in the 60s when they were starting to put them up?
That shit started in the 20s in the very first civil rights movement, like 1921.
Yeah, but like the majority of them were put up in the 60s, I thought.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, a shit ton of them were put up in the 60s.
Yeah.
But this started in like 1920, 1921. It might even be as early as 1918.
It might be.
But when the first civil rights movement happened, the first one, that's when you first started seeing this like super whitewashing of history and throwing up these statues to commemorate because they wanted to keep black people down. And I fucking hate that shit because it's like when people rep that flag and stuff, it's like, dude, you're just admitting that you're a piece of shit. Like, and no matter what you try and sugarcoat that shit into, it's still shit.
Yeah, and like, let's be honest about the heritage here. You're celebrating something that lasted less time than the Fox television show Fringe.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yep.
Like, I'm sorry.
It lasted less time than like the MCU and shit. Like everybody thought the MCU was going to die out in like 3 years.
Yeah, we should have
Especially
more
with those
statues of Robert Downey Jr. than Robert E. Lee.
Thank you. Yes. I was literally going to say that line for fucking line too. Line for fucking line. But it's true though. Like there's so many like some people's college careers last longer than the fucking Confederacy.
Van Wilder's did.
Hell yeah.
Every
Don't be a
doctor.
fool, wrap your tool.
Every doctor. Medical.
True. Yep.
Jeez. I'm pretty sure I've had articles of clothing. I've had pairs of shoes longer than the Confederacy lasted.
This shirt is older than the Confederacy. This is 10 years old. This shirt right fucking here. 10 years. 10 years. No, 9. 9, sorry. I got it in 2015.
Still longer. Still longer.
Still longer.
Yep.
Still longer.
Yeah.
And it costs less money.
Oh, yeah, of course. God, that was a ridiculously expensive boondoggle of an idea, wasn't it?
Fucking stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking stupid. But, yeah.
But those
like,
are reasonable things to be angry about, you know?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think another one that irks me is this is a reasonable one too though.
Yeah.
Is when you're in the straight lane, like one of the straight lanes going straight down the road, and someone pulls up in the left lane to you or the right lane, like right up next to you, and you can just fucking tell they're gonna go straight.
Mm-hmm.
I gun it. I don't let them in. But I try and keep side by side with them, so they're forced to have to stop and rethink their fucking life.
Yeah.
Like, no, thank you.
Dude, I laugh to myself. Well, not really laugh. I more or less just curse out into the air, usually being in traffic around here, and someone speeds up to get ahead of me.
Mm-hmm.
Of just me. When there's plenty of space behind me, like there's nobody behind me. You could you could fit easily. You don't need to speed up just to get in front of me. Like I'm already doing over the speed limit. You're not going to get any faster. You're getting a car length ahead.
Oh, what's great is when they actually do that, when they decide they're, you know what, I'm going to pass this guy, and then they go slower.
Yeah.
Than the fucking speed you were going already.
Mm-hmm.
Despite you having cruise control or just maintaining speed, what have you.
Yeah.
And it's like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Like, okay, you decided to pass me.
Yeah.
The guy who's already speeding. And now you're slowing down.
I'm going to tell you something that you're going to love this. So I was at the stoplight the other day, and I'm in the left turn lane, and there's somebody in front of me. Now, this particular intersection has a sign that says, no right turn on red, right?
Okay.
Because there's a blind hill on the left from where we're at in this intersection.
Totally understandable.
Yeah. The green arrow to turn left turns on. The guy in front of me speeds up, doesn't go left, turns right. From the left turn lane, goes to the right.
What the? Okay, so and, let me guess. The other side also had the turn lane or the turn arrow as well, the green arrow. So he just basically went in with them.
100%. He is lucky that there was nobody coming from that direction.
Gee, fucking Christ, that is so stupid.
Dude, it's the Wild West down here sometimes.
I swear. Like, so a lot of the videos that are online on YouTube for like the car crash videos and stuff, like especially with the bigger channels. I don't want to say like 80%, but like somewhere just above 50% of the videos come out of Florida.
Yeah, there's that, and then the remaining percentage is from the street takeovers over in Oakland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's some Texas as well, depending. Like if guns are getting pulled, it's guaranteed it's in Texas. Like almost all but a guarantee.
Unless, of course, it's in the desert, then it's somewhere in Saudi Arabia, where they are, trashing mid-range luxury vehicles just because they're so fucking rich they can afford it.
Fucking insane.
Driving them on two wheels and shit.
Like, isn't it in Qatar where they go through fucking like sporty Lamborghinis and shit like butter?
Oh yeah, dude, they love them over there. They have, I believe, the actual like Lamborghini theme park, if I'm not mistaken. Like they have a Lamborghini theme park. Yeah. By Lamborghini themselves, of course, because they're going to make their money. They're going to make their money.
That's insane.
Speaking of making money, we should probably talk about Clash of the Castle.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot to talk about. And, I mean, I've already said it to you, but I didn't see it yet. I'm watching it tonight when I eat dinner.
Yeah.
But I've seen all the highlights. I watched them all. Every single angle I could watch of these things, I've watched. And, oh boy, there's a lot to talk about.
I know. Number one, off the top of the list, we got to give it up to our overseas neighbors and being a fantastic crowd. Like, they had tons of energy for the entire show. They got chants. They very rarely get shows, and when they do get them, they show why they should get more.
This is proving yet again why more of these PLEs need to be done in Europe. The fans are hungry. They're hungry. And I'm sorry, but there is a huge fucking difference between the European shows and the American shows. Like, I can hear what's going on in the ring. Like especially like if we have a John Cena type that's in the ring. Like, I can guaranteed hear what's about to happen before it happens.
Yeah.
But none of these European shows could I fucking tell you what was being said. Even on mic sometimes.
Yeah. And it's not just Europe. I think the Puerto Rican show, really, like, that crowd was also just up for the whole show.
Well, there's history to that too, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Because of the what's the No Way Out of the Cell show?
What, the Hell in the Cell?
Played there. Not Hell in the Cell, but where like the four dudes like drop in randomly.
Oh, you're talking about Elimination Chamber.
Elimination Chamber, thank you.
Yeah.
There's history there because of Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
So.
But I like Perth Elimination Chamber. That was another one. Whole crowd was there for that. They were there for everybody. Like, everybody got there except for. No. I was thinking of France. Where like DIY kind of didn't get the pop that they probably deserved.
Yeah.
In comparison to everyone else that night.
Yeah, I mean, even Clash of the Castle, there was a couple instances that some booze popped up where you weren't expecting it. So,
like, boos are fine. Like, boos, that's a part of the game. That's a part of the industry. That's part of the show. It's the non-reaction you don't want.
I guess that's true. Yeah, because nothing's worse than you seeing all the fans looking over at the bestest boy in the crowd being a good service dog, and you don't get to watch that. So
That's a little Easter egg for the folks at home that watch our WWE 2K24 GM series.
yep, bestest of boy, 13 out of 10, my boy.
Oh man, he was a good boy.
He was a good boy.
So you haven't watched the show yet; you just seen the highlights. So we should probably like touch on some of like the important things. Reportedly, Damian Priest, after that botch with the top rope, is perfectly fine. He was
Really?
Yeah. Apparently, he was seen backstage after the show, hanging out with everybody, being like pretty good. So apparently, he's in decent shape.
I am surprised by that because don't get me wrong, they capitalized on the moment.
Yeah.
But with how tense those ropes tend to be already, I was expecting at least a swollen ankle.
Yeah, I mean, that remains to be seen. It might be like just the adrenaline was still in his body and like it hadn't like cycled out yet, and it might, hit him, later on. But apparently, like immediately after the show, he was, in good spirits and in good shape.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I watched that happen, and I mean they worked with it. Drew, kicking him and all that, and getting mad and ripping stuff off of the announcement table was great. It was a great way to kind of play into it, so I'll take it, despite the fact that it was a botch.
Yeah. And, maybe next year, Clash of the Castle will be in Drew McIntyre's childhood home's backyard, and there he can lose again in his home country again.
That'd be great.
Yeah,
that would be
still
great.
not getting a fucking win. God damn. I mean, I
Yeah.
appreciate that they're continuing this just who is the ultimate hater between him and Punk, but wow. He just resigned. He'll be fine. He'll be fine.
I mean, there's nothing like a Chicago boy spending money to fly to fucking Scotland in order to ensure that his rival does not win a belt.
Yeah.
And to basically flick off everybody in Scotland and say, fuck you, you don't get a win, and then fly home.
Yeah.
So
well, he didn't do that. He did stop at the press conference after the show wearing a Celtics jersey and eating donuts.
okay, that's true.
Yeah.
That is true, because the highlight of that had that at the end, and it was great.
Yeah.
But still, it takes a Chicago boy. It takes a Chicago boy.
Yeah, there is a special type of hater that comes out of here, isn't there?
There's just a certain level of petty that happens when you're from Chicago, especially South Side.
Yeah, he is a South Side boy, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a South. You can tell by the accent he's a South Side boy. No North Sider talks like that.
That's a good point. Other things on the show. I mean, there wasn't really any surprises except for the women's tag match, I would say.
Yes, yeah. The botch from Cargill off the top rope.
Dude, that top rope was going into business for itself all night.
Seriously, what was going on with that thing, man?
I just think it may have been just something that erupted from, like, maybe travel issues, or maybe they had a different crew working on, the ring setup that night. Because the other thing was they messed up, like, Cody's name on the screen when he came in for his match. What was it? Just like
talent name or something.
Talent
like that?
name here, and then it had like women's champion underneath or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is great though. Like, that's a great highlight in my opinion, because we've been seeing these type of technical issues not just like in Europe. We've been seeing them stateside too. So this is not something that I would necessarily blame on like the European workers doing this.
No.
They likely had like European like worker jobber guys coming in and doing shit, but this is something that's been happening with WWE for the past few months, and it's not like I'm not like shitting on them because of it. Like, it just happens, but it's more noticeable nowadays, whereas I didn't really notice it back in the day.
Yeah, it's always been like a thing. Like it's always happened throughout the entire history because, let's face it, there's going to be mistakes that happen when you are putting out multiple weekly shows, 12 PLEs, pay-per-views a year, and it's all live or, taped to live, and you don't always get the time to edit things out. But I think
not only that, but sometimes cameras are just not in the right place at the right time. It
Yeah.
just happens.
Yeah, it just happens. I just think it's been very apparent now, considering just in like the past year, like the strides that WWE has made in their production style, where like they've really been pushing themselves to do more adventurous and more interesting things with, not just camera movement, but the styles and the actual like gear that they've been using, because they've been using that 4K camera for the bigger matches recently that were like, I want to say it was very apparent at WrestleMania where they were doing like the in-ring like stuff like that, but they've been using
especially like the close-ups when they first come in and like Cody's looking at the crowd and everything. You don't get shots like that normally with like a 1080 type camera. Like you just don't. So
yeah, they've been experimenting with like depth of field, the actual like length in between cuts, and like doing those long one shots is a fantastic example, in just experimenting. So I think when the production team messes up, I feel like it becomes more jarring now than it used to, which is why, because in the Kevin Dunn days, like production was, all over the place. It was like, it was hectic. It was crazy. There was, 32 camera cuts in 8 seconds as a standard before. So like it was hard for your brain to keep up with the visual noise,
Yeah, I do have to agree with you on that because of the we're now more used to the higher quality, so it does make some of these moments more jarring when they do happen. Like with WrestleMania when you had Roman and was it Cody fighting off on one side and Rock and Seth fighting off in a different area, and they ended up using like the replay kind of setup for it, which was a little jarring in the moment because I like there was no pre-planning to that. But since then, they've used it right now, where it does feel right doing it because there's like a natural cut into it now. Whereas before it stood out to me because I still remember it now. I'm bringing it up now.
Yeah. Can I say something a little controversial? This is a safe space. I mean, this is our space. I'm gonna say this because you brought up WrestleMania. I'm gonna say on night 2, I didn't like the skull helmet that Cody was wearing for his entrance.
It's weird.
Yeah, it felt weird to me.
It's definitely weird.
Yeah, like
it comes across more like a totem pole piece.
Yeah, like
one of the layers of the totem pole.
Yeah, like everything else about the entrance and like the show itself, like I was pretty much over the moon for, but like that particular thing, I just didn't like.
No, I can see that. It was a little weird. I also since this is a safe space.
Yes,
it's a safe space.
Yeah.
I didn't like Damian Priest nor Finn Balor's when they came in at WrestleMania either.
Yeah, Finn's been trying to get that mask, that bag mask he's been wearing repeatedly, kind of like, okay, he wants to kind of make it as this thing. Damian, he just like busted it out for WrestleMania. I don't think I've seen it since then.
Only that.
Yeah.
I haven't.
Yeah.
But I've seen Finn's mask thing again. Since then.
He's experimented over the years with kind of that full cover style of mask, like not like just like the bag, but like that idea of like, no, I'm completely obscuring my entire being underneath this mask. Because I remember there was one where it was like a hard shell mask that he had that was like geometric and patterns and stuff on it. That was also just like completely left field. That like, okay, why is Daft Punk here? Type of thing.
Or like, so he's basically fuxing with his early days of his Mysterio villain arc then.
Yeah,
Because like the purple like ball thing reminded me, I don't know why, but it reminded me of like a deflated Mysterio helmet, even though it's purple and Mysterio's was glass, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
yeah. And not like Rey Mysterio wearing his homage to the Phantom gear, where it was all purple and black.
That is one of the best outfits he has ever worn, hands down.
Yeah.
It's not the best always. Like I think there's like a tie for 3 of them in my mind, but that's up there.
I mean, it's
That's
hard
up
to
there.
it's hard to narrow down. He has had so many different iterations on his wrestling gear. It's so hard to nail down which ones are his absolute best.
That one definitely stands out though.
Yeah, that one's insanely memorable. For the right reason. One that is memorable for the wrong reason is when he tried to do the same thing with the Silver Surfer, and he just painted himself silver and put on silver pants. That one was less memorable for good reasons.
Yeah, I also was gonna say, was it was it WrestleMania or Elimination Chamber? That was no. Which one? Which one was in Philly?
Philly was WrestleMania.
Was it WrestleMania where his match he wore green and then had the
Yeah, because he
two
had the
football guys come out?
Yeah.
and
yeah, because he was wearing the Philadelphia Eagles themed gear, and then the
so weird.
yeah, the
Like, don't get me wrong, I love him for it. I love him for it, but it's just so weird.
I know, like it's WrestleMania, so you give it a pass for the weird stuff when it comes to incorporating celebrities, because they're trying to get them on the show somehow, and you can't just like expect everyone to put together like 3 months out of their calendar year to train to do stuff in the ring, you know?
True.
And you
No,
can't.
I mean, they're like you could tell they're footballers because of the way they were charging and spearing.
Yeah.
Like it was like, okay, all right, I see this.
Also,
You
respect.
gotta give it to him though. The jump off of the one dude that jumped off the ring when he was leaving the ring,
Yeah.
and he did like that squat jump. Like he was like Eagle Man. He's like, oh, I've got something for you.
God, does anybody outside of Illinois even know what Eagle Man is?
Oh, I bet some people do. Like Valley City Wreckers. Do y'all know Valley City Wreckers? Like, is that one even outside of Illinois? I doubt that.
No, Valley
Where
City
the guy would
Wreckers.
pull the door off.
Yeah.
He would like open the door and the door would fall off. Dude,
That commercial was
dude.
unchanged from the fucking 70s, and nobody has seen it outside of Illinois.
So they did update it. Like I want to say like
They did,
2010 or
but they
something like
never
that.
got rid of that clip of the dude grabbing his car door handle
Right.
and it falling off. They never got rid of that bit.
So I think they just ended up putting a filter on it to make it look like a cartoon.
Really?
That's my guess. Yes.
Oh,
Especially now that I've been editing now for almost like with us like 8 months or whatever. Or
It's been
more,
since
10
November,
months.
at least.
Yeah. But then with my other stuff from before, like I've been around doing it for about almost a year now.
Yeah.
Around a year. So, I swear to God, that's just a filter they put on top.
It's
Some
entirely
sort of
possible.
effect.
Okay, here. I'm gonna do a quick test here real quick. Okay. Hey babe. Do you know who Eagle Man is? If I said the words "I've got something for you," does that mean
you gotta
anything
do it
to
right.
you?
You gotta do it right.
Oh, I'm sorry, I gotta do it right.
I've got something for you.
I've got something for you. Does that anything in your brain?
The only thing that came to mind was I'm assuming you're talking about a wrestler.
No. No.
Then no.
Yeah,
I
no.
was thinking like the rooster guy.
The rooster guy, the red rooster? No, not him. No,
Look at those low rates.
I'll show you later so you can see. See,
Let me know, audience. I want to know.
yeah. I should put up a poll with this episode if they have any knowledge of what we are talking about.
I have to assume that people on the border of our state, my state rather now, but they've seen that commercial. Like especially like Wisconsin or like Indiana.
Yeah.
There's no shot. Some of them people must have seen that commercial.
But there's no way it reached like Detroit. Like it never reached the borders of Michigan.
I wonder.
Yeah.
Like so by regular means, like regular TV means, no, I don't think so. But I do believe people from all around the world have seen this commercial because of YouTube.
I would think so. Just like Jones Barbecue and Foot Massage. Like, it's got to have made its way around the world. I mean, I'm sure the 2 people in Belgium can tell us whether or not it's reached there, because I know there's at least 2 people that follow us from Belgium.
Hey, let us know. Have you seen the Valley City Wreckers commercial? The 2 people from Belgium? And also, share with your friends. Let's have 4 people from Belgium. That would be awesome.
Right? Come on.
Like, seriously. Oh, how about Moo and Oink?
Moo and Oink. Oh,
Moo and
man.
Oink.
God.
Moo and Oink.
Dude, Moo and Oink, I don't think it would have made it as far as, like, Empire. Because Empire had a full-on jingle.
Oh, yeah. I don't remember the first part of the numbers, but at the end it's like, Empire 1877
438?
3 I was going to say 329. Oh, no. I've heard those commercials so many times and I can't remember it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dude. 1-800-588-2300 Empire.
And
That's
then
what
there was also DeVry ones that used to play that used to have a jingle with their phone number.
Yeah, there was that. There was Luna.
Luna.
Mm-hmm.
The Men's Warehouse commercials used to play in the middle of the night. He's like, you're going to
love the way you look. I guarantee it. J.G. Wentworth. It's my money. I need it now. Come on, all of those.
It's my money, and I want it now.
Mm-hmm.
J.G. Wentworth. 877 cash now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, okay. Audience, any of you who actually decide to comment or whatever, let me know of commercials that only played in your area that you want us to look up and try and watch. Because there is nothing better than just, like, the freaking, like, localized area commercials with, like, the shitty camera quality and everything from the 90s.
Yeah.
Where they had, like, the fucking recorder that your dad decided to, like, record all of your most awkward moments with.
Yeah, the one that's, like, shoulder mounted.
Yeah.
God. And now, here's the thing. We don't want to see, like, the stuff that everybody saw on, like, cable TV. Like, the Ultimate Love Song collection that used to play repeatedly on, like, Comedy Central back in the day.
Everybody saw that.
Yeah,
Everybody saw that.
Like, that's something that made it everywhere. I want that hyper-localized, like, this never made it out of, like, you know, Nebraska bumfuck nowhere. You know?
Like Svengoolie commercials.
Dude, Svengoolie, his son, he's still out there kicking it, dude.
Mm-hmm.
He's out there doing the thing.
But remember those early, public access commercials and all that for him? Dude.
Yeah. He was a great spokesperson.
Super awesome. And didn't he had like a deal with Six Flags or something for a bit?
He did.
That dude was everywhere, man. That dude was everywhere.
He was everywhere in our area. He wasn't like Ernest, who got multiple movie deals.
True. Or Bozo. We brought up Bozo once before. Bozo, even though he's now more of a national treasure, at the time, though, he was a Chicago favorite.
Yeah, he was.
So, when we were growing up.
Yeah,
let us know, because I want to know some of these, man. I want to see some of these. Like, did you ever see the Panda Cheese commercials?
Panda Cheese?
Yeah, dude, Panda Cheese, where this panda, like, comes up and, like, there's, like, a father and son, like, shopping. And they're like, at the grocery store.
I know exactly what you're referring to. Where the panda just, like, they're at the grocery store and he just dumps the shopping cart because he's buying the wrong kind of thing.
My favorite one, man, to this day, I will watch it every once in a while, is where he goes into the hospital, where the guy's like, like I don't want to say he's on life support necessarily, but the panda comes up and unplugs the fucking machine and just stares him down. So good. So good.
Dude. Okay, so number one, as far as like advertising in general goes, I want to give it up to Japan. Because there are two things that Japan does better than anybody else in the world when it comes to media production. Number one is outside the box, buck wild commercials. Like I'm talking like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Kiko Man commercials, and
Yes.
Panda Cheese, and the PlayStation one where the guy is pretending it's a new Wi-Fi router and he's having somebody install it so his wife doesn't suspect that he bought a PlayStation.
Yeah.
And it's animated. They do those very well, and the other thing they do better than anybody is fucking game shows. They do game
Yes.
shows better than anybody else in the world.
They their media has a way of just always breaching the general world cultural sphere real easily, especially nowadays. But like the way that their product placement is done works over there super well, works even better on Westerners, despite the fact that sometimes what they're selling, like with it be video game wise, is so weird and off the wall that Americans just can't get into it. But they'll still sell like a fucking like 5 million copies here, like it's nothing.
Yeah. Like,
It's down to a science, man. Especially because like they learned how to keep you entertained with all the colors and stuff and everything moving. When we were talking about WWE, where they had like 8 shots in like 3 seconds,
yeah,
that works with a lot of their advertisements.
it does. They're advertising Prime very heavily.
Like the Dragon Ball Z commercials. A lot of those were based off of the original Japanese commercials for them. Those were baller.
Yeah, they worked. Speaking of, God, we are getting so much closer to Sparking Zero coming out, and I can't wait. Dude, the previews that were shown off during Summer Games Fest just got me that much more hyped for it.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I'm just really hoping we're not going to get like a mixture of Kakarot and like Xenoverse, because I as fun as Kakarot was, I got bored of it really fast.
You see, I kept playing through it. Like I did like all like the main, like the whole main story and like the DLC after. Once I figured out what you're actually supposed to do and not just keep repeatedly beat your head against the wall for that one fight that you can do, because it's. Did you get to that point with it at all?
Nope.
Okay, because one of the like post-release things that they had for content was your training with Wiz and Beerus on, yeah.
Oh.
And so it's literally just a fight with Wiz and a fight versus Beerus, and you are just training with Wiz so you can beat Beerus. That's the whole
Okay.
that's the whole thing. So it's those
Which
only
is basically the real arc.
it's the real arc, yeah. So like you can just keep like putting your head against the wall to grind the experience, but then you're like, oh wait a minute, it gives me an item in order to actually like super boost the amount of experience I get for these fights. So I only have to do it like a handful of times and not just repeatedly do it over and over and over and over again in order to earn what I need in order to level up enough.
Yeah, but that doesn't work when you're one of those types that doesn't like to use any of your items until the very end.
Yeah. Ugh. Excuse me.
Gesundheit.
Yeah, thank you.
Salute.
Yeah. But yeah, like once you figured like that out, like, oh, okay. And then they actually had something that was interesting in the, I think it was a subsequent add-on that they had, where they added in a different type of almost like a horde mode fight, where you were just fighting waves of, basically nameless enemies and just, wiping the floor. And it was like, okay, how many of them can you wipe out in a allotted amount of time type of thing. That was kind of cool.
That's kind of what it felt. It kind of felt like that already when you were doing the Vegeta arc.
Yeah.
And or I guess Pickle. No, the Saiyan arc. Sorry, the Saiyan arc. And you're just facing wave after wave of frickin' Cybermen.
Yeah, it was kind of like that turned up to 11.
Okay.
Yeah, but everything I've seen on Sparking Zero looks like it's designed to be a true successor to the Budokai Tenkaichi series.
Oh yes.
Like that is the whole like purpose and design from like a fundamental level.
Man, I loved Budokai.
Yeah.
Oh, such a good series. If any of you haven't played any of the Budokai games from back in the day, highly recommend trying to pick one up and play it. Great versus. Super dynamic too.
So far, I've seen the only complaints or critical items I've seen that are giving people caution is like the local co-op is only available for one level in the game.
Oh.
And the other thing that I've seen complaints about is the destructible environments don't feel as dynamic as they want them to be.
Huh. That sucks. Yeah, because, like, that's what DBZ is known for.
Yeah. Like, you remember in, like, was it Budokai 3? Like, you start a battle, and by the end of it, the entire scenery is just a wasteland of magma and cracked earth, and it's just erupting around you.
Oh, yeah, and you can constantly throw people between one portion of the map and the next, where you get that, like, cutscene going on. That was really cool.
Yeah. But
it's a great game series, though.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it. We're gonna have to at least give it a shot.
Oh, we're 100% gonna give it a shot, because I've been sold since day one. Once I heard like the original idea, I was like, no, we are sticking to like that classic kind of like Budokai gameplay style and like core concept. And I'm like, okay, I'm in. I'm sold. That's all I wanted ever.
Just so you're aware, audience, me and Alex growing up used to stay up all fucking night and play this, like, verse each other.
Yeah.
Back and forth, over and over again. I think it was Budokai 3 where they had, like, the board game kind of setup or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe that was 2.
No, I think you're right. I think it was 3 that had it. Yeah.
That one made it even more fun when we were facing each other off and stuff. Like,
yeah, that one felt
great
so
series.
Good, and we were very evenly matched. Like, we would go for just hours on that. Oh,
I just remember you kicking my freaking ass with Hercule over and over and over again.
He had some very cheese-tastic abilities.
That the jetpack kick, the downward jetpack kick. That thing, it didn't matter what stance you were in, what you were doing, man. You were getting flopped up into the air like a fucking pancake.
Yeah, beating people as Hercule was like beating people as Dan in Street Fighter.
Yes, that is a very good comparison, yes.
Yeah, we're like, oh, he's a joke character, and then like, no, if you learn him, he's fucking awesome.
He's actually the most OP fucking character there is if you actually play him right, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because like Dan's Hadouken was horrible, but that's not why you play Dan, though.
No. Oh, man. So...
I'm looking forward to that, though.
Yeah.
We'll have to play that. Give our 2 cents on what it's like.
Yeah, that might come back in, depending on how good it is, as a 1v1 me, bro.
Yeah, I was going to say some versus is definitely going to happen, because... does it have fusions? Like fusion characters?
I believe it does. I don't know to what extent, if it's going to be like how they did with like Marvel vs. Capcom, where it's like, okay, you have a squad and then you can do a fusion, or if like the fusion characters are their own individual characters, like they are in Fighter Z, I think.
Yeah,
is the other one?
I think that one, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I want to be able to fuse 2 random characters together that you never fuse together normally, like, let's say, like, Piccolo and fucking Krillin.
I don't know if they're going to do that. I'm just going to...
remember, wasn't it Budokai 3 where you could put the Potara earrings on pretty much anybody you wanted?
I don't know if it was. That might have been like an offshoot. Like,
There was something we played where we were able to do that.
Yeah, we were able to do some random shit. That might have been like a Mugen like independent ROM that somebody had hacked together. I'm just looking to see if there's. I want the roster list. That's what I want. Cause yeah, give me the size.
It would be very telling if we see fusion characters.
164 characters reportedly.
Okay, there's fusion characters.
Yeah.
That also probably means you get to play as Chi-Chi and/or Bulma.
I mean, it's possible.
Hopefully the kid version of Chi-Chi, because she was a badass.
Yeah, that fucking like blade thing from her helmet. I don't know what it was called.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We might actually get like GT characters in this too.
Okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've been waiting for them to somehow pull GT into canon. So.
Let's see here. Yeah. Budokai 3 had 98 character slots. So, let's see. That was 98 characters, counting 161 transformations.
Yeah, because you could, like, play as Boo and pick, like, a character you wanted to suck up, like Tien Shinhan. And do some weird shit. So.
Yeah.
Because obviously you had, like, the basic, like, Gohan or Piccolo mixed with Boo.
Yeah, looks like there's 11 different versions of Goku, at least.
Fuck.
And
that means there's probably the GT Kid version.
Yeah, let's see. We got early, mid, Super Saiyan, end of Z Super Saiyan, end of Z Super Saiyan 2, and Super Saiyan 3, Goku Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan. Okay, yeah.
Such a dumb name.
Dude, it's Dragon Ball. It's all fucking stupid. Come on, they're named after vegetables and shit.
I know. I love it. It's so schlocky and good.
Yeah. But no, that's something that is on my list that we are going to have to play, along with the new Monster Hunter. That is something that we're going to have to play. I love me some Monster Hunter, dude. It looks ridiculous. It looks like they've taken kind of like the ideas that they've been pushing with the previous two releases, with making it more open world, and just kind of like fully realizing that instead of it just being like, okay, no, you have just this time and you're just doing this and that is all you can do. Now it looks like the little hub is, still a part of the game, but it's less emphasized, and it's more emphasized of like, no, you're doing your work out in the field.
I enjoy that.
Yeah.
I enjoy that because it felt like that's kind of what they were working towards over the years.
Mm-hmm.
And to kind of see this version of it come out is going to be exciting.
Yeah.
Because as much as I love Monster Hunter, and it's meant to be grindy, don't get me wrong, but like when you're grinding through the same pathways over and over again, like I want some variation. I want some choice.
Yeah, a little bit of variation, a little bit of choice. The one thing I will commend them for when it comes to that grind is they always gave you the information for the grind and how to achieve what you were grinding for from the beginning. Like they never they never made like the grind obscure, or they never made the grind feel like there wasn't a purpose for it. Like they always made it very clear, like, okay, no, this is what you need to do to get to the next thing that you want.
The great thing is you would have expected other games to have learned from that. Like, I don't know, maybe Destiny 2.
Oh, man.
But no. That doesn't happen with American game studios that often.
So, can I get on my soapbox here real quick about Destiny and Destiny 2? So, Final Shape has been released. Fantastic reviews across the board about how well they have crafted this. I don't know what they're calling it, if they're calling it chapters or expansions or seasons anymore. I don't know what they're calling it anymore. It is impossible to get started in Destiny 2 now. Like, the story has become so convoluted and across so many different timed events that it's impossible to get the full picture within the game anymore.
Which, let's be real, that's actually just always been an issue and has completely snowballed over time.
Yeah, like it's just compounded at this point where I wouldn't feel right recommending somebody start playing the game now.
It was kind of like that with Destiny 1 as well, man. Bungie, for whatever reason, has been unable to solidify an idea of what they want to do with this storyline.
Yeah, and there's also some current reports happening now as far as like changes in the management of Bungie itself. There have been some people leaving, some people that have been gone for a while that have come back. There has been some sort of changing of the guard since the last couple weeks of the final shape getting released.
They tend to do that though. That's not that uncommon.
Yeah. It's a little uncommon for them to be welcoming some higher ups back though.
Okay, yeah, no, that part is a little weird, yeah.
Yeah.
But maybe because they actually brought to task things like some Halo games and stuff, maybe.
Maybe.
So,
I don't know.
And I don't know, man. Halo had a better story structure, so.
Which is saying something because they were all over the board when it came to like actually organizing Halo 1 to like Halo 3. I would say they were kind of like chasing their own tails for a good portion of the development cycles on a lot of those games.
Agreed.
Yeah,
agreed. But it was something, especially the first one.
Mm-hmm.
The base storyline is kill aliens and stop them from getting to Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Like overall, basic storyline works.
Yeah, basically, like it's very stripped down and simple from like the core aspect, and then they just like left all the depth like for you to discover and be written later, effectively, between the novels and the extra media that they put out.
Well, not only that, but even in game, when you're running through some of those levels, you can stop and read some of the computers and stuff.
Yeah, the
even in
terminals.
the first one. Yeah,
it's true.
And get some more like background of what's going on, which was nice because it wasn't there like them trying to shove it down your throat or nothing.
No,
if you wanted it, you had to get it.
That's very true. The other thing that we should probably touch on as far as like actual video games go, dude, Dragon Age the Veilguard.
Like, yeah, that's popping off right now. People are talking about that like crazy.
Yeah, I don't understand sort of like the batshit like obvious like right wing blowback because like Dragon Age since the beginning's been like super queer. I don't know where they're getting this idea from that it wasn't.
It's because these people are hyper fixated on this stuff now, more so than they were before. Like they don't get me wrong, they've always been hyper fixated on anybody who's not a straight white male Christian type.
Yeah.
But like they just like the Republican National Convention or whatever just put out an ad telling people to burn pride flags during Pride Month. So like it literally a rainbow could be in the game like in the background because some rain fucking happened and these people would lose their shit.
Yeah. Like the actual like real criticism I've seen is that they are drifting farther from being a CRPG and are delving more towards like an action RPG. And like I get it, that's fine, but I think Baldur's Gate proved pretty succinctly that you can get a successful CRPG across in this day and age.
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah.
Like the Soulsborne isn't the only way to go for role-playing games in the Western market.
Right. And don't get me wrong, I love me some Souls, but I have to be in the mood for that type of game because you're not playing that game for a story necessarily. You're playing that game to prove your mettle.
Speaking of, are you getting the DLC for Elden Ring?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't bit the bullet yet, so to speak, because it's been a while since I touched it. I'm debating whether or not I want to start from ground zero and work my way back up because I'm rusty as hell, and that DLC will probably just whoop my ass.
It's been a little bit since I've played, because like right now I'm playing Baldur's Gate on my own.
Me too.
And
are you having some interesting bugs in your playthrough right now? Because I am.
Like what?
So where are you right now in your playthrough?
I'm in the Underdark.
You're in the Underdark. Okay, so I started...
Still in Act 1.
Yeah, I started playing my original campaign. I dropped it near the middle of Act 2, and I picked it up now, and I'm at the very end of Act 2. But I've run into a couple of troubling bugs, one of which involved Shatterheart, and her not being able to realize that I had picked up a specific quest item that would allow me to progress, even though I had it in not just my inventory, but she was actually, she had it equipped.
Okay.
Yeah, so I had to find a workaround for that. That was quite infuriating. And then there was another quest I was having issues with where... I'm trying not to give anything away, but basically I was trying to, it was defend a portal, basically, and there was waves of enemies coming. But the problem I ran into is I killed off the first wave and then nothing happened. And there was no way to proceed. So eventually I figured out basically is okay, I had to let the... not kill everything until a countdown started, basically, because that was the signal for it to continue. But the most infuriating thing I've run into is seemingly random. It has shut off the ability to save.
Oh,
I will go to save and it just says save failed.
does the autosave work still?
No. No, it wouldn't.
Then...
there was no quick save, no manual save, no auto save was working.
Oh, I haven't had that.
Yeah.
I haven't had that. So the worst I've had is my game locks up for 30 seconds to a minute when I go to talk to Vovo or whatever.
Volo.
Volo. Yeah, thank you. Literally, the screen just locks, and then all of his lines repeat twice once it actually moves forward.
That's annoying, but it's still kind of workable. That's not game breaking, luckily.
No.
Yeah,
no, because it's just talking. It's just talking.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. There's annoying little bugs that are whatever. Okay, a fight will conclude, but one of the enemies will be dead, but he'll still be standing. That's whatever. You know. I don't give a shit about that. It's the, no, wait, I literally can't progress is where I get okay, I'm done for the night.
Yeah, so I would be really mad at that. I would probably just start all over again. Because I'm on my third character right now, technically. I played through the first time as just a plain sorcerer starting off. And don't get me wrong, it was fun doing wild magic again, but... It's I want to do something different. So then I did a bard.
Yeah.
And I was nah, I don't really want to be a bard. So now I'm playing a warlock. No. Then I did a druid, and now I'm doing a warlock.
Yeah. Oh, and just real quick, for anybody that's about to jump in the comments for your solutions, I have 0 mods installed. 0. Not a single one. So there is no interference from mods.
Well, I mean, maybe... You know how there was the mods for Fallout 4 to fix quests and stuff?
Yeah.
Maybe there's something like that that's a fix. Oop, shit, that's gonna be loud on the freaking cut. Maybe there's a mod out there that fixes that.
I've been fortunate in finding other people online who have had similar problems, and they have posted their workarounds, and they have worked. The workarounds have worked.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes it takes a couple of attempts. When I can't save, essentially what I read and what has worked is to go to one of the traders and essentially giving them an item and exiting, and then you'll be able to save. Or sometimes it takes multiple attempts. But so it's been like, okay, I'm going to go to a trader, barter for a single gold piece, exit out, and then, okay, that didn't work. Go to somebody else, try it again, and eventually it works.
Nope. I have no patience for stuff like that. I would just stop. Stop. No. No, thank you.
That's the thing. Like, it's one of those moments where it's like, that's something where I would be like, okay, I want to stop, but I haven't been able to save for the past, like, who knows? It's been like, 20 minutes since the last save. I'm not replaying all that again when I go to play again.
Oh God! I had that like where I was a dumb and didn't save for a long time, and I am really bad at rolling dice, whether it be in real life or whether it be in a video game. If there are dice rolls, they're low for me.
Yeah, Derek's gonna screw it up.
Today, I'm not gonna give out like what the scene was necessarily, but I had to pass a certain skill check for it to move forward in the way I wanted it to move forward. Right? I had to use inspiration 3 times. 3 times on this one roll.
Yeah.
I got a crit 1 3 times in a row.
Oh my God, dude.
I've been playing today for like on and off for like 4 hours, right? Maybe
Yeah.
5. I've had 10 natural ones.
Do you have a
10 or more, maybe more, but it's definitely double digits. For fucking sure.
Do you have, was it the karmic dice turned on in your settings?
I don't know if I do or not.
Because that is, there's some people who swear that it works and it prevents like the, crit ones from happening repeatedly. And there's some people who say, no, don't do that because it'll block you from getting natural 20s. So you never get nat 20s to begin with, so it might not hurt you.
No, I don't. I get nat 1s a lot, though. A lot. And today was infuriating. I had to save. I ended up having to redo an hour's worth of playtime because I went through all my inspiration and failed it. And I was like, nope,
God.
I'm not having that happen. I want this to go a certain way. So I had to reload, and it was like an hour back, and I had to replay it all, and I had to save right before I started this fucking conversation.
Yep.
Just so I could make sure I would pass it. And I mean, mind you, when I finally got back, I did get more crit 1s.
Dude, I'm sorry.
I don't know what it is, but yeah, dice fucking hate me.
Yeah. Dude. Like, I'm sorry, because Baldur's Gate is absolutely one of the best games that's come out in the past, like, I'll say conservatively past 10 years, right? I think that's safe. That's safe to say.
Yeah.
But you are screwed in that game because you cannot roll dice to save your goddamn life. And I feel like that is an important aspect of enjoying the game.
It is insane to me because, like, don't get me wrong, in combat, it happens, whatever, right? But when you save the fucking game right before something happens so that you can keep retrying if you fail, and you sit there for a half hour because you just keep fucking rolling under 5, you end up taking like an hour break or stop playing the game altogether. Like, because I've had those moments. Like, one incident today that I almost stopped playing altogether for was I had to save someone, try not to give anything away, but in the act of trying to save them, it's a very dangerous moment, and if you mess it up, everybody goes bye-bye. Everybody, right? And I did it over and over again, and it just, for some reason, I would do everything, and then right at the end, one of the other characters would be like, "Oh, I'm gonna walk over here 3 feet," and just trigger fucking everything.
Oh, dude. I'm sorry.
But I love this fucking game. I fucking love this game.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna stop playing, no matter how infuriated I get.
Yeah, I'm trying to finish my first playthrough, like, officially now, so I can go back and do another one, because last night, Saturday night, we went out to the theater because the Lord of the Rings Fellowship of the Ring extended edition was playing in theaters,
Nice.
And we had to go. So now I've got the urge to recreate the Fellowship in Baldur's Gate by just getting a bunch of hirelings.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. You gotta make sure you get yourself a Gimli,
I need a dwarf.
a Legolas.
Yes, need
You
an
need
elf.
a Legolas.
Need an knife-eared shit.
Yep.
Yep.
You need a couple humans. You need a one that is unable to break any sort of ethics that he has,
Yeah.
and then you need another one who on paper you would think would never break any of his ethics, but decides to throw them all away, and then get shot by a bunch of arrows.
Yeah, and look, I know it's easy to kind of rag and shit on Boromir, but dude, he kind of redeems himself. Come on, let's be honest here. Like, he's,
Fuck yeah.
yeah, I would say like he was tempted by the ring, but he was still trying to do right by his people.
I am a firm believer that you can do evil things for good reasons.
I'm a
So,
firm
like,
believer that the Lord of the Rings in general is the best version of positive masculinity in the world.
It's definitely up there for
Yeah.
sure. Like, the biggest badass of them all is not even the main character. He is the main character's helper.
Yeah.
He goes out of his way despite not having to go out of his way. He is constantly trying to be an uplifter for everyone around him.
Yeah.
And he also proves that, you know what, nobody's perfect, and he needed to lift up himself a few times.
Yeah. And he stood
Not only
by
that,
the...
he played awesome fucking football. Awesome. Awesome football.
Don't forget also, he played a fantastic stepdad who, was there
That's
when they
true.
needed him the most.
When they needed him the most. Yup. God damn. God damn. So good.
Shout out to Sean Astin, man, really.
Yeah,
Like-
seriously. Especially with those half-cut shirts back, man. Bro.
Dude, that mesh one?
Yup.
Yeah. Only person I could see that could really pull that off outside of the cast of Airheads.
Yes. Yes. But he also had the fingerless gloves.
Yeah.
The cutoffs. So
That's important.
that is important. And the hat backwards. A
Big
little
fan.
bit of the hair flumping through.
It's called fashion, sweetie. Look it up.
Yeah, it was drip. It was drip for sure. Drip for days.
Yeah. Oh, that's something we'll have to talk about next week. I've got some fashion things I got to talk about.
Okay.
You're gonna have to remind me. But before we go today, it is Father's Day, and
Yes.
I thought we should pay respect to the greatest father of our times, Christian Cage, everyone's dad.
I knew that was only going one of two ways.
Yeah.
You either were going to go with the dadliest of dads, or you were going to pull some learning tree bullshit and get me to ask him where his fucking wife was on January 6, 2021, Chris Jericho.
Maybe the Redwood knows.
Maybe the Redwood knows.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's another one I watched. No one does promos like him, man. No one does
No.
promos like him. I don't even know how else to put it.
Yeah, he was actually interviewed not too long ago about like specifically like how that got started, and he was just like, nobody was really pushing things too far as like promos were at that time, and he's just like, what can I do to kind of set myself apart and kind of like revisit some well-trodden ground in a new way? He's like, that guy's dad's dead. I'm just going to hammer on that. And that just became his thing, and it's fantastic. And my favorite bit is still the time that his daughter was with him when he was being interviewed backstage. And he tells her, no, go away. You didn't earn this belt. With the one that Luchasaurus won. Kill switch now. And then he tells security to get her out of there and have her removed to his daughter. God, he's a fucking treasure.
He is a national treasure. Seriously. But happy Father's Day to all
Yeah.
of you out there and to your dads. Make sure you tell them from us, the Night Off crew, that we said happy Father's Day. You tell them.
Yes.
And and just in case, say, Dad, if you don't believe me, check out the podcast from Father's Day.
Mm-hmm.
You will see that they did actually wish you, Patrick, a happy Father's Day.
Yes. And then also, Patrick, you should go to our store where there's a link in the description below to buy your child one of our merch items. That's something that you should do as part of your Father's Day, little routines. They got you socks, they got you a tie, they got you some coffee mug or something like that. And they brought you here to episode 30 of our podcast to be wished a happy Father's Day.
I remembered that.
I didn't. I pulled it up over here on the side. That's what.
Oh, okay. I was gonna. Oh, damn it! I was gonna say, I'm like, I know what episode it is actually. Because editing Derek never lets me forget what episode we're on.
No, of course not. He wouldn't let you do that. That's the beauty of
Such a
having
dick.
2 monitors.
Oh yeah, and happy Father's Day, editing Derek. Thank you for allowing me to be on screen.
Yeah. Thank you, editing Derek. But also thank everyone for joining us. This has been Night Off. We'll see you next week. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, do all the things, hit all the buttons, do the engagement, all that fun stuff.
All the links.
All the links, all the things. Remember, we're, here to share not just Father's Day with you, but every day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lovely thing.
It is a very lovely
Because,
thing.
you know what? When it takes a family, and it's all about family.
It's all about family. Thank you, Vin Diesel.
Yeah, thank you, Vin Diesel.
Even when it's not about Vin Diesel, it's still about family.
It is.
Yeah.
And somehow still about Vin Diesel
Yeah.
and The Rock.
And Jason Statham.
So much bald in one room, man. You can't handle it.
Yeah. At least they saved money on hair and makeup. And on that note, we'll see you next time. Good night, everybody.
Have a good night.